happy Saturday evening. I mean, I'm a mess to even kick this off because this is a very interesting topic. There's many people on the booktube community that are doing something similar here, and so I'm not really starting this video out the greatest, but this is definitely I keep stopping, deleting, and starting over because I just don't know how to really say this. But as you all know, a lot of people in the booktube community are doing kind of a read what you own and kind of shying away from all these huge hauls that they're doing, etc. And I have some books that I'm going to haul here in a second. I have a stack, and it's not very big, but these are books I purchased over the course of the last 7 or 8 days. But during that time, I did a Audible cheating, let me know video, is Audible reading type thing, and then there was a lot of criticism on that and discussion, and it led to me doing another let me know video about overconsumption and booktube, and my weekly wrap up from the hotel and my business trip. I mentioned I was probably going to take a step back from purchasing and everything else, but at the same time I was going to slow down from all the videos because I was just having a hard time keeping up with it all. But at the same time, I've been doing some kind of retrospective thinking about it doesn't make sense to continue to buy books when I have plenty here to read. Now, does that mean I will never buy another book? No, I'm going to, but I'm just not going to be doing it in mass amounts, and I'm not going to be doing it in the near term because I don't really need, I've got plenty to read here. So another thing that kind of spurred this is when I had my Saturday shorts this morning, I mentioned this particular short, Without Jonathan by Jeffrey Deaver, that I read. I loved it. But see, this is the thing. When I read something like this, whether it's a short story collection or just a book in general, and I really enjoy it, and I just want to clear everything and read it. But then I'm thinking, okay, well, why should I buy new if I have all of these things that I really would like to enjoy? I mean, I have trilogies on here that I want to get to: the Nine Angel trilogy, the Mistborn trilogy, the Strand trilogy, the Philip Pullman trilogy, His Dark Materials. I have standalone books in series. I have Mike Hammer. I have the 87th Precinct. I have Bosch books. I have Steve Berry books. I have Jeffrey Archer books. I have many different series. I have the Virgil Flowers series sitting up there. I have the rest of the Evan Tanner series, the Burglar series for Bernie Rodenbar. I can go on and on and on. I have hard case crime books. I mean, I have standalone Ken Follett books that are big books that would take a lot of time. I have all of the Wheel of Time sitting up there. I mean, I have a ton of books. I have tons of Louis L'Amour sitting here that are standalones, and I have tons to read. So going out and buying, 10 new books, or going out to used bookstores or libraries that are doing book sales or on hauls, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And you have to kind of take a step back and realize, okay, yeah, this overconsumption problem on BookTube, maybe you're contributing to it. Maybe you're part of the problem. And again, does it mean I'll never buy another new book in the short term? No, I probably will if something comes out brand new. Obviously, when it's a ways away, but May, I think Stephen King's going to release a book. I'll definitely pick it up. I always do. But at the same time, I don't need to go out and buy books so I can book haul them and unload them to you all on BookTube. I have plenty to read. And again, book reviews are the foundation of my channel. That's why I started doing BookTube. And so with that being said, I'm going to jump into these. This isn't the last haul ever, but it's definitely going to be the last book. When you might see me a month or two down the road, it might be, hey, I picked up this book. It's definitely going to be a one-time thing, like here and there. It's not going to be like, hey, I got these 8, 10, 20 books. No, that's not going to happen. Not for a long while. So with that being said, here are the books that I picked up over the course of the last 7 or 8 days. And I feel like the timing's right because I do recognize that, two things. One, there's an overconsumption problem, and then I'm contributing to it with all these books hundreds of books that I haven't read. That's a problem. And two, again, I want to kind of go back to, I definitely need to slow down, not try to just continue to push content out to get videos, 2 videos a day and all that. It just doesn't make a lot of sense long term, and I'm going to stick with that. I definitely will touch on the subject one more time, probably in my wrap up tomorrow, but other than that, I'm not going to belabor you with that point. I'm going to continue to do what I do, enjoy what I do on BookTube, and I'm having a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. So with that being said, and all those house cleaning items or how to set up the stage for this, let's talk about the book haul I have here. And so I picked up from Thrift Books, they had this hardback copy of Lula Moore's Sackett Companion. I thought this was an interesting buy because this thing is interesting. It's in very good condition, and it talks about all the Sackett books in the series. And since we're going through that, I thought it was really interesting because it gives you some back story, kind of the plot, and it also gives you some maps for each book, so you get an idea of where stuff is taking place throughout the books that are in this. And so I really enjoyed this when I viewed it online, and when I saw Thrift Books had a copy of this for under $4, I had to pick it up because it just made sense with this wagon train that I'm on. And so that was that book that I bought. The rest of these books, as you probably know, I sent out a question, and it may be counterintuitive to what I just talked about, but I wanted to know, I need to read more classic books. And so I wanted to get some ideas and pick your brain on what you all thought were great classic books. And so I am compiling all of the comments that I receive from that post on my channel and compiling a list. But I did pick up some books, and some of these, many of you have talked about, and I wanted to pick up. And so I got a copy, and I got all of these at Barnes & Noble. I had some credit on my account for that, and so I went ahead and picked up some of these. And I picked up Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. I wanted to pick up a copy of this. Many people said that I should read it, and so I picked up a copy. I also picked up a copy. I'm enjoying Ray Bradbury. I've read a couple short stories now, but a lot of you said Something Wicked This Way Comes is one of his greats, and so I picked up a copy of it in trade paperback. And then I picked up Barnes & Noble had these kind of fake leather, hard, kind of heavy paper copies of some of the classics, and I thought, the trade paperbacks are pretty much the same price as some of these. I might as well go with these nicer copies of their versions of these. And so I picked up a copy of Sherlock Holmes classic stories. Now, this isn't a complete edition, but it's got, the little tassel, and it has very nice, pages and paper in here. And so I thought this was really, really good. But it has, in this collection, there are, I believe it is 10 Sherlock Holmes stories in here. And then several of you have been, I think it was Dustin Neely and some others mentioned the Odyssey and the Iliad. And so I picked up the Odyssey by Homer. I picked it up in this collection as well. Again, I think it's a really beautiful copy. And so I picked it up. I would definitely like to get to reading more classics on the channel. And so I picked it up. And then lastly, a lot of you, and especially it was kind of maybe recency bias because we just got out of kind of the spooky season, but a lot of people were raving about Mary Shelley and Frankenstein, and I've never read this book, and so I definitely picked up a copy in this kind of fake pleather, soft, hard copy editions. And so I picked up these 5 classics because I wanted to add these to my reading for the coming year as I read more classics, along with the goal of reading more nonfiction as well. So that is the book haul. I hope you find this enjoyable. I hope you understand and can see where I'm coming from about, long term. This will probably, again, will be the last book haul I have for quite some time, as again, I have tons of books to read here. So I hope you're having a great evening, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks.